You noticed a change. Maybe they're moving less. Maybe they won't leave their favorite spot. Maybe they're staying closer to you than ever before. And something inside you knows that something has changed. But what is your dog feeling? What do they know? And the things they do in those final days, are they all random or do they mean something? For decades, nobody asked these questions scientifically. But when they did, what they found was both painful and extraordinary. Most people explain a dog's behavior in their final days in two ways. They're in pain. That's why they're like this. Or, their instincts have kicked in. Both are partially true, but neither gives the full picture. Because researchers in recent years have begun measuring something far more specific. Is it pain causing this? Changes in the brain? Or is it because of the bond they have with you? And the answer offers a completely new framework for understanding what dogs experience in their final days. Science has found three things about this, and the third one changes how you should approach those final days. The first finding, and this is the hardest question: do dogs understand their own ending? Science's honest answer: we don't know. Not with certainty. But there are things we do know. There is strong evidence that dogs can perceive human death, or the death of other animals. In 2011, a documented case, a Labrador retriever named Hawkeye, whose owner had passed away, walked to the side of the casket at the funeral and lay down there, waiting. And science doesn't see this as anecdote. It sees it as a window into animal cognition. We know dogs have temporal awareness. We know about their scent clocks. We know they measure cortisol changes. And researchers suggest dogs can feel the changes in their own biology, the drop in energy, the shift in scent, the pain signals. This isn't understanding death in the most human sense of the word, but feeling that something has changed. For that, yes, there is strong evidence. The second finding: proximity. The Dog Aging Project, the world's most comprehensive dog aging study, gathered data examining thousands of dogs in their final days, and a consistent pattern emerged. In their final days, dogs increase their physical closeness to their owners. They seek more contact. They want to be near more. They separate less. This isn't simply because pain prevents them from moving. Researchers documented this approaching behavior even in dogs whose mobility was still intact. The biology is changing, and the dog is orienting toward their attachment figure. This is the attachment system, the secure base effect. In the most stressful moment, orienting toward the most trusted person, and you are that person. There's something worth sitting with here. In the most difficult moment of their biological existence, when their body is declining, when the world feels less safe, when energy is fading, their nervous system orients toward you, not randomly, not because you're the nearest warm body, because of 15,000 years of co-evolution that built you into the definition of safety for them. You are their secure base. And in the final days, that system doesn't fade, it intensifies. If you feel your dog pressing closer to you than ever in their final days, recognizing this matters. This isn't just a symptom, this is communication. The third finding, and this is the most important one: dogs hide pain. This isn't a choice. This is an evolutionary instinct. In 15,000 years of pack dynamics, an animal that showed weakness became a target. So concealing pain signals, making discomfort look normal, was a survival strategy. That instinct is still there, and this means your dog may appear to not be in pain in their final days. They may look fine to you. They may look at your face and wag their tail, but something very different may be happening inside. Veterinary behaviorists and pain researchers found that dogs' pain indicators are subtle signs that most owners aren't aware of. Slower movement, changes in the way they eat, subtle postural shifts, less stretching, a slight dulling in the eyes. These don't mean they look fine. These may mean they're hiding the pain. That's why in the final days you need to watch not how your dog looks, but the subtle changes in their behavior. And you need to listen to what a veterinarian says, especially about pain management. Your dog looking fine to you doesn't mean they are fine. This is instinctive concealment. And by being aware, you can do the greatest kindness. Think about what this means practically. A dog who is in significant pain may still greet you at the door, may still respond to your voice, may still eat, though perhaps more slowly, perhaps less enthusiastically. None of these mean the pain isn't there. They mean the instinct to conceal it is stronger than the pain itself. This is why veterinary pain assessments in dogs look at things most owners never notice. The way a dog positions their weight, whether they shift their stance when standing still, how they lower themselves to lie down, whether they lick a specific area repeatedly. You don't need to become a veterinarian, but you do need to know this. What you see is not the full picture. And having that conversation with your vet, proactively, before the signs become obvious, is one of the most loving things you can do. Here's the finding that surprised researchers most. Data published by the Dog Aging Project in 2024 showed this. In their final days, the vast majority of dogs, regardless of their mobility, still showed positive emotional responses. Tail wagging, softening of the eyes, responses to their owner's voice or touch. There was pain, there was fatigue, there was biological decline. But the bond, this bond, persisted until the very last moment. Researchers explain it this way. The attachment system is one of the most resilient neurological systems. Even as physical decline begins, the emotional bonding response can continue. Think about what this means. The part of your dog that loves you, that recognizes you, that responds to you, is not housed in the muscles or the joints or the organs that are declining. It's in a neural system that was built over 15,000 years specifically to bond with you. And that system is remarkably persistent. The body can be failing. The bond can still be intact. When your dog looks at you in their final days, if their eyes soften slightly, if their tail moves slightly, that means the bond is still there. The body weakens, but the bond continues. This wasn't accidental. For 15,000 years, dogs lived with humans, were born with them, aged with them, took their last breath beside them. This attachment system, this orientation toward humans, is the product of 15,000 years of living together. And in the final days, this system emerges in its purest form, wanting nothing, expecting nothing, just being beside the most trusted person, the one who knew you, who chose you, who trusted you until the very last day. Science tells us this. What your dog does in their final days is not random. Moving closer to you, the attachment system, hiding their pain, evolutionary instinct, still looking at you, still responding, the bond continuing. And you being there, your physical presence, your voice, your touch, makes a scientifically measurable difference. It lowers cortisol. It activates the attachment response. It sustains the secure base effect. The greatest thing you can do in those final days isn't something big, just being there. Quietly, calmly. Your hands on them, not rushing, not filling the silence with words, not trying to fix what can't be fixed. Just the weight of your hand, the sound of your voice saying their name, the smell of you, the most familiar, most comforting smell in their entire world. That is what the data says matters, not the heroic gesture, the quiet presence. Because in that final look, in that gentle wag of the tail, they are saying the bond is still there, and it always will be. On this channel, every week we go deeper into the science of the bond between you and your dog. Because they chose to spend their one life with you, they deserve to be understood.